Well, I mean, we have two runners that absolutely are of high caliber, I think. Razon versus LynxXUnlimited. I'm pretty sure.
Good afternoon, Speedgaming fans. Good afternoon, Super Metroid fans. Folks, we are here. We are here for the 2024 SGLIVE Super Metroid Any Percent Tournament. We are down to the final 8 competitors in this tournament. Today, we're going to get an excellent matchup between Razon and LynxXUnlimited. To walk you through that action, we got 2 commentators here for you. My name is Professor School. I am joined by Metrol, coming over from the Metroid Dread community. Welcome to the commentary booth, Metrol. How's it going?
Good. Hello. We should be seeing a pretty exciting matchup. I believe both of these runners have a 41, which is like honestly awesome. I will never get there because I'm never going to be as good as these runners because looks like we're starting soon.
Yep, we just dropped the gate in the racetime.gg room. These runners should be underway just any second here, getting their last little bit of practice in. And while that's going on, let's just take a quick look at the bracket. We've had our top 4 set for a while, those semifinalists in the top bracket who have not lost a game yet. Number 1 seeded Zosti, number 4 seeded Ruya. That matchup's going to be coming up soon. And then we've got number 2 Oats and Goats versus number 3 Shiny Zenny. Some really hot matchups up top. And then yeah, they're
hot match. Sure.
They are going to be excellent. Drewski just took out Emmett recently. Emmett took out Sasream. And now we're going to try to round out the semis of that redemption bracket. Razon and Lynx here going on. The winner will take on Eddie. And we're still waiting for this one to get on the schedule, but Scotty Crow and MGA will be facing off shortly. The winner will take on Drewski. And that's going to round out our final 8 here in this tournament. So we are, Metrol, we're just getting down to it. These are the best runners left in this Any Percent tournament. I'm excited to see what happens.
Oh, wow, they started. Okay. Well, you see, we kind of have to, go explore Ceres because, we got a distress signal, surely. Everything should seem okay, right?
Yeah. Well, I think, the scientists on Ceres probably don't have much that they can help us with at this point, having sent that distress signal. But hopefully our runners are not too stressed out about this matchup. We got a pretty even one for you today. Lynx and Razon, both 41 runners. If we check their PBs on the leaderboard, Lynx coming in just a little bit ahead of 41.32, Razon with a 41.54, as you pointed out, Metro. Incredible times. I mean, this is top tier elite level times, and it's really anybody's game here in this PRKD versus PRKD matchup.
Indeed. I believe, so they just took damage on purpose because, again, we're not shooting Ridley 100 times.
Yeah, we're not shooting Ridley 100 times. We are not doing Kill Samus RTA, which is your other option to get out of there ASAP. But no, these runners are coming through. Let's see how this Magnet Stairs and Steam are dealing for him. 52 flat for Lynx, just a little bit behind there for Razon. Ooh, bad Steam there, unfortunately, for both runners.
And getting both runner and Razon getting a 44 and LynxX getting a 45. Ceres, very nice. And now that we went through Ceres, we are now going to Zeebs. You might see our runners arm pump, which means they just press their shoulder buttons a couple times. That is actually to move Samus a couple more pixels. Also, I do not expect the NTSC bomb threes.
No, I don't think we're quite going to be seeing that, even though the capacity is technically there from 1 or 2 runners in this tournament. Yeah, I think for right now we're going to be going with the normal BT fight, as I expect we will for the rest of the tournament.
It's BT skip's insanely technical. I'm not going to even get to the full Oh right. So our runners will do something called the moonfall, which means they'll break their falling speed cap. Which means when you do a moonfall, when you moonwalk off a ledge, you will have no cap to your falling speed, which means you could technically fall infinitely. That's like a 4-second time save, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's the biggest time save that you'll get here from any of the moonfalls you can do. Definitely the longest one for sure.
And having our morph ball already. I believe this is the one of 2 items we absolutely need to wake up the planets, because now we have missiles, which means we can open missile doors now. I believe it's like a 1 to 2 second difference right now, and now they're going to go up the elevator. I think we are going to see our runners do the climb with wall kicks. Wait, honestly, it might be something with my settings. Anyway, please stand by.
Oh, and check this out. We're getting ledge grab climbs from both climbers here.
Interesting, actually. I thought they were going to do a wall kick, which,
No, Lynx always does the ledge grab climbs. I'll be honest, I did not realize that that Razon does as well. But that's just sort of flavor differences at this point. Nice entry times here. 4:34 entering the flyway hallway. We're going to have some really nice bomb times here from both runners.
I believe it's going to be a 4:44 on touch and a 4:46 on touch for Razon. Very nice. And now, none of our runners will even try bomb during this skip, because again, it's practically impossible. Now let's hope BT doesn't troll us. Getting nice drops. Very nice kill. Oh no, Razon doesn't have full missiles.
Oh, that'll be quite all right. You can do a nice normalized strat here in Terminator and get the extra farm. And
I don't run here. I don't run PRKD because normally I run old route, so I have to remember that. Oh, all right, they just got a missile drop there, and then getting the Terminator tank.
Yep. So the neat thing is that whether you're running PR Kitty or Kraid first, you can do that nice normalized farming strat. There's a buffered shot that you can do that Razon did, and it sort of will, on full health, it'll guarantee you a missile drop from that waiver. So a nice backup strat there from Razon. And both of these runners are going to be coming in with just about 6:10 touch times on this elevator. This is really, really solid times for both runners.
They're like tied. It's practically neck to neck. Also, they killed those pirates because I believe they want to conserve full health, because I believe both of these runners are doing Fantoon first. Otherwise, if you're killing Kraid first, you'll actually want to damage through the pirates. Meanwhile, now that we have super missiles, we now can
All right, little strat difference here. I like this. Lynx getting that extra missile drop So he's going to use that farming strat on the Rio through the hallway. Razon going with that the strat that some runners are still choosing to use, which is the jump fix through the door into the mock ball. It's sort of different ways to slice the room. Not big differences in either one. Ooh, Lynx going for the weave. Not quite getting it. It's not free today, unfortunately. But still, despite that, we're going to get just about 2x touch times on charge. This is just blazing pace from both runners. Really, really nice stuff. Little unfortunate for Razon there, not getting that charge shot off, losing just a little bit of time there, taking a bit of extra damage. Lynx choosing for the charge shot setup here. Just the P shot there from Razon. And I like that Overfiend strat there, farming for those extra 2 drops. And still a 3x touch time from Lynx, so really, really nice stuff here overall from these runners. Razon just having a little bit of trouble through that later segment of the power bombs time. Sorry about that, folks. Dog making a little intro on commentary. I can promise you that's not one of the enemies on Zebus. That is actually just my dog, Pennywise, who does not like the mailman. But we're just going to move right on from that. All right, and we are at the moat now, folks. This is the first real test for these 2 runners. Looks like we're going to have to get an HBJ setup for Lynx. Oh, man, you know, that final bomb. Goodness gracious, that final bomb can just do a number on you. You leave it a little bit too early and you end up dipping into the moat. And just like that, Razon handles the moat very, very nicely. Lynx, fortunately, does not get in his own head from that situation, is able to clean that up very, very nicely. Yeah, and we're just dead even going in here. At this point, this is a Fantoon pattern or so, so these runners are just straight up even. All right, folks, get your guesses into chat. Let's see what Fantoon has for us today. Fast, right off the back, and Razon with the beautiful air Doppler. That looked freaking sick. No fast, probably better that way, actually. Would not have had the missiles. Depending on the drops, it actually could have forced a 3rd round. Big health drops are nice. Ooh, but the extra damage taken by Razon should be okay, though, here. Wow, and that was beautifully timed. Fantoon just coming on screen for those missile drops. Here's the mid-2nd round for Lynx. Can he clean it up? Look at that. And just like that, in and out, those runners with, what was that, a fast, slow for Razon? And was that a mid-mid for Lynx? Kind of hard to watch both patterns at the same time. But nicely done. Lynx holding on to that gap that was generated at Moat. Still just about a few seconds behind. Pretty good resources for Lynx. Actually, excellent resources for Lynx. Razon's health and missiles a little bit lower, but should be just fine here. All right, folks, here we go. Getting our way through the attic. Razon choosing to farm here, getting a little bit of extra health. I think I like that decision. Just make up some of the health issues that you had there. There's other places you can do it, but I think trying to get some of those big health drops, which are quite common off those atomics, are good. But, ooh, Lynx taking damage off that back half of the attic. 144 is enough, but it's boy, you always like to have that third hit if possible. Razon getting totally hooked up there. Missile count a little bit low. Super count not totally ideal, but I would say overall pretty good here. Okay, yeah, and Razon is through. Lynx just on his heels. Lynx also getting hooked up with the health drops, so I guess 3 hits actually, no, 3 hits would not have been enough. Miscounted there, but looks like about 12 to 15 second difference right now. Going to be pretty good gravity touch times, both sub 14 it looks like from both runners, so pretty solid. Let's check in on those resources.
Can you hear me now? Sorry, I was trying to mess with mic settings because someone asked me to. I'm not gonna do it this run because it's yeah. Anyway, very clean Fantoon from both runners, I think.
Yeah, overall they handled direct ship very, very well. I mean, really the biggest difference here, Lynx having just a couple hiccups overall in wrecked ship, including obviously getting stuck up with that moat fall, which is really what swung the momentum in Razon's favor. And Razon has just absolutely handled it. I mean, the beautiful air Doppler cleaning up very, very nicely on that Fantoon. And now, yeah, I don't know, interesting. Lynx, so choosing to double farm there on 8 stupers. So up to the full 10 now.
I wonder if, for the safety of the match, I wonder if they will choose to fight Kraid next, because that is the thing.
No, I don't expect that whatsoever. These are both PRKD runners. They're both quite comfortable with this route. And if one of them were to decide to fight Kraid, I think in this situation you'd be putting yourself at just a little bit of a disadvantage. You know, supers can be an issue in that case. I think that both of these runners are going to go straight down to PRKD at this point in the tournament. Unless you're a KPDR runner, I don't expect to see any route changes.
And interestingly enough, they actually blow up the glass tube earlier rather than later, actually, to save a few frames. I'm pretty sure. But if you don't have a power mob, you obviously can't do that.
As Exact Science says, we're going to go on a little bit of a shopping excursion here up in Upper Norfolk. I really love that, actually. Really, Samus just going around the planet here, picking up all of the items necessary. A couple missile packs. A little high jump boot action here. Going to pick up ice and speed. Just a little shopping spree for Samus, getting her ready for that lovely trip to heated Mar-a-Lago. Or wherever people like to take vacations in Florida these days.
gonna know if one of our runners does 2010 or 1510 very soon because of wave missiles. Because if you skip that, you're putting yourself at risk. Because if you miss a shot later, you basically lose the tourney. It's really bad. Let's hope that doesn't happen to any of our runners. But more on that later. Also, nice mock ball freezing. What are those name of those enemies? Because I genuinely don't know.
Yeah, those are called trippers, and dang it, they'll do it. They'll trip you up. Oh, interesting. Razon using all 4 missiles on that farm. Let's see. I see, yeah, okay. And we're getting slightly different farm setup here from Lynx, but overall pretty good. Both runners handling things very nicely. Lynx, I think, gained a little bit of time, was probably 10 to 15 seconds behind at Gravity, has definitely caught up here. We'll take a quick check. This is probably just a few seconds at this point. Yeah, this is about 8:18 coming through the door. Lynx maybe 4 or 5 seconds behind. Just overall on movement has made up some time here. Really, really nice stuff from Lynx.
Interesting setup. I've not seen that from anyone. Although I've seen use of the ice beam to actually climb up Bubble Mountain, I think. But not that particular version, no. Now we're about to get our speed booster. And this is where movement gets interesting.
Yeah, Bubble Mountain's an interesting one. It's one of those rooms that I remember Twin and Sephi on commentary a year or two ago talking about how Zeb Skip is like the Bubba Gun shrimp strat. There's all ways to cut it. I feel like Bubble Mountain's the same way. You got right side Bubble Mountain, you got Ice Freeze Bubble Mountain, you got Charge Shot Bubble Mountain. There's a lot of different ways to cut that room, and you'll see a lot of those demonstrated here in this tournament. You got Bubble Mountain and potatoes. You got fried Bubble Mountain. No, wait, hold on. That's something else.
Okay. Razon being very smart and doing 2010. I like this play. And both runners doing 2010, as I would honestly expect, because if they skipped over that missile, that would honestly be, that could spell doom.
Yeah, I agree. And honestly, unless you're really pushing for world record time, something in the 40s, and maybe not even then, depending on who you ask and what your philosophy is, I think the power of 2010 in terms of what it allows you to do and some of the places it allows you to move faster is not necessarily worth the 5.5 seconds or so that you save on that item fanfare. So, yeah, fully expected both of these runners to pick up that missile pack, and they were able to do that without issue. Oh, Razon getting just a little tripped up here. Not going for that new D-boost off the Fune. Folks, if you can't remember if they're Funes or Namahes, remember there's no I in Fune. Both literally and in how you spell it. And there's that new D-boost that we just started instituting. A lot of those top runners now instituting that D-boost off the Fune. Razon setting up for this Lava Spark. Oh, nice! Heck yes.
Very well.
Beautiful stuff. And a 2050 elevator touch. Can Lynx match it? Woo! Oh boy, that was a bit of a shave and a haircut there. That's a couple pixels away, and that angle up spark probably saved Lynx from a bonk there. We are within 10 seconds again, folks. This is a really close race entering LN. Let's go.
Let's hope worst room in the game doesn't troll either of our runners, because again, worst room in the game is worst room in the game. This is not low percent ISO. Our runner should be fine, and that honestly looks good. Very, very clean. And LynxX is going to do the same. And doesn't get trolled.
All right, and those runners are through. I will point out the super count difference. Lynx sitting very comfortable at 9. Razon is going to be wanting more supers, not getting totally hooked up in that bug farm. So Razon is going to be hoping to get hooked up from those metal pirates, most likely.
And getting a
power bomb drop. Goodness gracious, this game, I swear.
This game is really nice with drops sometimes. And LynxX getting health. Also, you do not want to run into those key hunters because they will do 50, and that is very bad, as well as these enemies, because these enemies do like 40, and you really want to conserve health for the boss coming up. And nice Kegos, too.
Yeah, beautiful double Kegos. The first one saving a ton of time. The second one not as much, but still really nice. Razon opting for some health save here. Let's see, decent supers from the first one. Oh, that looks pretty good. Yeah, 17-9, not totally full, but in much, much better shape than he was before. Meanwhile, Lynx already at full, so should get some really nice health drops here. Is going to be in great shape going into Ridley.
I want to point something out. Our runners are not going to do X Factor strats because they would have had to turn off Ice and Spacer at Ridley, which makes sense because again, X Factor strats can be incredibly tricky, and their power bomb count is a little too low for it. So no X Factor strats today.
All right, both runners with 10 supers. Lynx coming in without that sort of 12 to 15 missiles that you'd like to try to speed up part of this ballistics fight. So we'll see how they handle this. I think it should generally be pretty even footing coming into this fight. It's really just going to be about how they handle this Ridley fight. Okay, pretty aggressive play from Razon. Not surprising given the extra health that he came in with. All right, Lynx seeming to back off just a little bit on the aggressive play. Either that or was worried about getting crouch locked in that interesting situation.
Super Missile's doing double damage, I'm pretty sure. And that's why they kind of want supers, I think, because supers are much better DPS than Charge Ice Wave Spacer. And Ridley looking good, and Ridley is down for Razon.
Gosh, there was like no swoops in that fight whatsoever for Razon. Unbelievable. Great drops, though. Oh, wait, hold on. Health. Oh, my goodness. 126 leaving Ridley. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. Well,
and LynxX having 12 too. Actually, 299.
What is Razon doing here? 175. Nice farming. Do you stay out of the acid here? Gosh, I don't know. With that health, I think I might stay out of the acid for extra health. Holy smokes.
Because if Three Musketeers screws you, you are, that's not good.
Well, yeah, it's not just Three Musketeers, unfortunately. There's Key Hunter Stairs before that, where if the manip doesn't go well, oh, and there's an extra set of damage off the spikes. Oh boy. We're going to be down at 80 here just from this deboost off the Deskiga, and then down to 73 after the hit off this flame. Holy smokes, folks. Hold on to your butt. Boy, I don't know. If Razon takes a hit here, I would not be surprised to see him go pick up Fireflea's tank, which is going to be incredibly slow with Lynx just breathing down his neck. So far, the manip looks good. Okay, he splits the upright. Wow. Excellent.
That's honestly so risky. but yeah, again.
Okay, here we go. We need a clean Firefly room here. No, and taking damage, but it's okay. It's 63. He should still be able to take one hit as long as he doesn't take any additional damage beyond a little bit of acid damage at the start of Three Musketeers. This should be fine. Razon should still have a hit to give, so he can afford a little bit of a trouble here. Yeah, he's at 57. Okay, the manip looks so good. So no, he's gonna take a hit right off the top. No, he gets over it. Morse. Air morphs over both. Incredible work from Razon.
That was clutch.
Absolutely incredible stuff. Razon knowing that he had almost nothing to give there. That middle key hunter there did not turn around. You're trying to manip that key hunter to turn around. It came head on, but there's a nice airball strat that you can do. Beautifully done by Razon, adjusting on the fly to the movement of those key hunters, saving himself. And despite that, though, I will have to say it was a little slower of an escape. Check out this time. Metrol, we are neck and neck. We are just a door transition behind. These two runners are tight on each other right now. Let's go.
Yeah. Oh, man. This is really fun. Well, We have to make sure Mother Brain doesn't troll our runners. We have to make sure Dragon doesn't troll. We have to make sure we get proper drops from the Metroid rooms, because if we don't, this could be very bad.
Yeah, really interesting juxtaposition here of resources. Health a little bit low, but Razon should be able to get pretty close to filling up on supers here, and might have actually the option to fill up health, if not from Kraid, then on Mini Kraid on the way back out, being full on supers. Lynx instead is going to be down to about 3 supers here after this fight, so really going to hope not to get screwed on drops and supers coming into the Meridia section.
Let's hope we don't have to dance with Kraid today, which is incredibly unlikely. And 1, 2, 3, Kraid is down. And Sarah's like, no, I will not take you to prom today. And now we have the Varia suit, which if you notice, Gravity actually has the effects of Varia, but we also need Varia for Mother Brain, because again, this game's real awesome. Because otherwise we need 3 more E-Tanks than we currently do, and that's really slow.
It is very slow, well pointed out, and then here we go, coming out of Kraid, 10 supers for both runners, both of those runners getting, well, sort of Lynx in particular getting exactly what he needed there, getting really low in, but getting enough coming out, both with 8 leaving the fight, and now both with 10 leaving Warehouse. Health still a little bit low for Razon. 122 is okay. I wonder, though, if just out of safety he might decide to do the slower backup to save some health. I think maybe not having gotten hooked up with that large health drop leaving Warehouse. We'll just have to see. It's about 63 health that you're going to burn on this upward spark, but it does leave you with a little bit of, well, not really much wiggle room for taking damage on Botch Moon, unfortunately. Okay, so they're both sparking. Oh, and I like that. Interesting. Razon actually opting to use the blue from that Shine Spark setup, killing those crabs and actually getting another health drop there, so 20 more health than he would have had. But it allows Lynx to pull a little bit further ahead. So coming out of LN and through Warehouse, Lynx has been chewing away at that lead slowly, finally retakes the lead, and now 30 minutes flat entry into Batoon. Razon just about 3.5 seconds behind. Let's see this decalled X Factor setup. Oh, we're getting a double X Factor from Lynx on the top pattern. Heckin' beautiful. Let's go.
I believe he wanted to do that to conserve supers.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And then you can see the effect of that, leaving with 6. That is likely to set up Lynx really nicely on supers, getting into going into Turian. Meanwhile, Lynx just missed it, but hey, shout-outs to Hockey Towner in the chat. Yahtzee there from Razon. Really nicely done.
And now we're going to see if we can set up the full healthy. Because apparently, it's interesting why this is called the full happy. Looking good. He gets the full happy. Both runners getting the full happy. I thought Razon was gonna bonk, but not the case. Now we have Dragon, which is going to be pretty trivial for both of our runners. And now, yeah.
Gosh, I don't know, Metro. I think you're a little bit more confident than I am in Dragon. This is, we'll just have to see. I certainly hope that it's trivial for both of them, but this is, oh, this is cool, though. Look at this. We're getting mirrored setups here. Lynx using that older setup. Meanwhile, Razon using that Azeel setup, that newer sort of Rain Dance modification. Pretty good. Belly color is down nice and red for both runners. It looks like an excellent setup for both. Can they hit the second spark? Okay, Lynx taking a little extra damage. That pattern is particularly rough for taking extra damage off Dre. Both runners at 116 and 107.
Oh no! Razon missing the spike suit. Also, I want to point something out. If you shoot too many missiles, you will risk taking chain damage, and that's really bad. Because you could actually die.
All right, and we're going to see a little bit of separation here. This is what you were pointing out. Lynx managing to get that spike suit. Razon, I think, got that bad frame. I sort of missed it there for a second, but the only issue here, obviously, Razon will be saving a bunch of health, but losing time. Lynx at 50 health, this is an interesting thing here. You're going to want to farm despite having just 7 supers. And we're going to have to keep a close eye on Lynx's health. He does not want to get hecked in that room 1 of Metroid room 1 in Turian. Nice big health drop there for Lynx. That does help.
Again, just because runners have killed all 4 bosses does not make the rest of the run free. In fact, it's far from free because the end of the game. Ooh, okay, I thought he missed, but again.
Yeah, and this is just what I was talking about. Lynx there, you know, in almost every other situation, you want super drops from those bugs. In this particular situation, got 2 supers and just the 1 big health, and just was not comfortable. And I honestly agree. If you're under 100 going into M1, boy, things can get dicey really quickly. And Lynx opting for that extra set of farms, despite, I mean, sometimes you'll leave with 4 or 5 supers if you're really trying to push. Lynx there already at 9 supers, but deciding for a second farm because, man, that 120 is just, that 100 was just not comfortable. Despite that, it does look like Lynx is going to enter G4 just slightly ahead here. So we have quite a matchup on our hands. Razon, though, on the opposite end, Lynx smuggling all those supers out of Meridia. Razon on 3. So we are going to have to keep a really close eye here. If Razon does not get hooked up by these Metroid drops, they are going to have some big, big issues with ammo entering Mother Brain.
And I believe LynxX is going to enter G4 at 34:15, and Razon being slightly behind.
Yeah, it looks like it's about 9 seconds or so right now. I mean, it's obviously less than a baby skip. It's really just some execution here or there. We are going to be looking at 2 things, folks. We're going to be looking at execution. We're going to be looking very, very closely at those super counts. Lynx should be fine with 135 health. I'm pretty comfy with that. Gosh, those 2 supers, though, from Razon. I'm almost surprised to not see Razon have missiled that red door entering the G4 hallway just to try to conserve 1 extra super, but boy, howdy. We're looking at mid 42 pace right here from both runners. Mid to low 42 pace. Really, really nice times for both. This is great race times, but boy, howdy, it's going to come down to execution and drops.
It's also going to come down to RNG whether Mother Brain decides to behave.
All right, folks, this is what we want from a PRKD race. We got through all of the difficult tricks. The runners were able to hold everything together. We didn't have any deaths. We got across the moat as fast as we could. It's all down to execution in Turian. Let's go. Oh my gosh, Lynx getting hooked up again. 29 already exiting room 1. All right, we're going to get a farm strat here. I like this from Razon. Are you kidding? 1 super drop from 3 Metroid.
Oh my gosh. This is terrible RNG.
Okay. All right, this is much, much better after room 2. Yeah, and we're going to get missiles galore here. God, okay, no drops again. Come on. All right, okay, this is much better here. Oh, left a super behind. Did not wait for that last drop, but 19.8 should be okay. This is going to get dicey, though. Just 303 health. Things are going to be funny after this. Let's see how it goes. Okay, no, we're good. We're good. Razon, okay, yeah. But at the same time, I was paying such close attention to Razon that we missed what's going on Lynx's end. A little uncomfortable with these extra hits here. 339 is going to leave Lynx with much, much less health. I don't know if he's going to potentially go for a safer Zeb skip here. All right, let's try.
339 is incredibly low. And did that look good? Okay, gets baby skip.
Bomb spread set up from Lynx. The single bomb set up there from Razon.
Oh my gosh.
Beautifully done from both runners. Let's see if Lynx opts after that second hopper hit to try to save health. You can save 10 health here. Instead of by doing the down back skip, you can actually freeze the Rinka from underneath. No, we're getting down back skip, or yeah, some sort of setup of that. So 10 extra
Oh my
damage
God.
plus the 2. We're going to have to get a really, really well-executed Mother Brain fight here from Lynx.
Oh no, okay. He missed the missile. This is exactly why you don't do 15-10 because, oh my gosh. Be careful.
Oh,
Okay.
goodness gracious. Okay, Lynx is down to the wire here. The 2010 does save him with the turret hit of the missile, but you can see the difference in health. 42 extra health for Razon, which is a full barrage of onion rings just thereabout. So Lynx just has to clutch this out a few seconds ahead, but can hold on here with a good Mother Brain.
He also cannot get hit because, Mother Brain's restaurant items will kill him instantly.
Yeah, we're gonna looking to avoid that food poisoning from those onion rings. Don't need a bad French fry here, folks.
And now
Make sure
they have a
those
60
meatballs
shot
are well cooked.
Meanwhile, Razon has much more buffer room because he has much more health.
I wonder if some of those missed shots there from Lynx are just from nerves. Oh my god, full barrage to the face, but Razon, okay.
Oh my gosh, this is quite intense.
Beautiful dodges there from Razon getting under, and Lynx at the same time, under one set of onion rings, over another set, and into the catch-up phase. Here we go, both runners very close to making it through, both runners in the catch-up phase at this point. I think that might be it. I think Lynx is through. That's it. Yep, after that catch-up, he should be through. I'm not sure. I mistracked the count of those shots. I don't know if that was an extra late catch-up that cost Lynx 5 seconds or not. Maybe chat can help us out here. Both runners through. Incredible stuff. What a race this has been.
Man,
Yeah, I just don't know. There was one extra catch-up that came up late, but I had lost count of Lynx's shots after the wildness that happened, and I just don't know if that was 5 extra seconds. We'll just have to see. I don't think either runner got good cutscene either. Let's just confirm. Yeah, both runners do not have good cutscene. So Mother Brain's sitting down here at 39, 43, 44, and we'll just have to see how close it is for Razon. Looks like it's going to be about 8, 9 seconds. Almost 10 seconds even. Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, this is a cushion that Lynx built up over the course of this run, chewing away at the lead, finally evening up and passing Razon, exiting the warehouse area, building just a little bit more of a lead coming out of Meridia, and now holding on to a 10-second lead here in this final little bit. If Lynx can hold on to this, this is going to be GG's for Razon in this tournament. Lynx just needs to execute. Did enough in that Mother Brain 2 fight to stay alive. Excellently executed from Lynx. Razon, though, keeping that pressure on. Cannot have a slip-up for Lynx, or Razon is going to be right there to clean up.
Honestly,
very clean Mother Brain 3. Very clean Mother Brain 3 here from Lynx. Beautiful.
What was interesting to me is how the lead changed over the course of the race.
Yeah, absolutely. This has been a real back-and-forth affair, a real slugfest, throwing haymakers. It was a real slobber knocker, for sure. All right, so far so good for Lynx. First spark coming up. Nicely done. Here's the infamous Leodoc's room. Nice door check from Lynx. Okay, handled that first set of platforming very, very nicely. Has to hit this moonfall. Nice! Oh, just at the edge of the platform, but that'll help maintain that lead. Just 2 obstacles remaining. We've got this spark and climb, and then we'll have the rest of that parlor afterwards. We're good on that first one. This is it. Still about a 10-second lead. Lynx just needs to finish out this parlor. The platforming has been very good for him all day long, and it continues to be so. Lynx is going to be moving on, folks. Cue up those GGs in chat. Holy smokes, what a race. And the God Steam to finish it off. And that is going to be Lynx in first place, finishing off with a time of 42:17. Razon is just going to be a few seconds behind. What an incredible race. Holy smokes, folks. GG's to both of our runners.
Wow, 12 seconds. That's how close this race was.
Wow,
14,
wow.
but this is what you like to see.
Wow, 2 low 42s in a race, sub 42:30. Absolutely incredible stuff from both of these runners. It was a real back and forth affair, and goodness gracious, what a treat for everyone. And there we are, joined by both our first and second place finishers, Razon and Lynx. GG's to both of you. GG's on an excellent tournament, Razon, and GG's Lynx on the win today and moving on. Congratulations.
Thank you, guys.
GG's, thank you.
GG's.
GG's,
Well,
Razon.
Yeah, GG's, Lynx.
All right. Well, I'd like to start with Lynx coming in first place in that race. You had been chipping away at the lead that Razon had mounted. I got to ask first of all, were either one of you watching the restream? Were you following what was going on with the other runner?
I just picked bowling, and that was it.
I peeked at bowling, LN elevator, Ridley dead, and G4.
Okay. All right. Well, so then maybe I'll start with you, Razon. So you had a little bit of a better sense of what was going on.
Yeah.
It looked like you had mounted a really nice lead early. You had a really lovely early game and were able to get through on moat cleanly, which Lynx had took the one dip. So the lead was slipping a little bit throughout the course of the race, finally losing that lead to Lynx coming out of warehouse. Was that difficult for you? Were you responding? Was that sort of making you anxious, or were you just sort of like smooth sailing and I'm just going to play my best to get through the rest of this race?
It was interesting. So what happened was I finished Ridley with a bad amount of HP. And so I was thinking to myself, okay, I need to check the restream, because if I'm like really ahead, like if my lead grew, I need to take Ridley tank here.
Yeah.
And then I saw Lynx was like right on my tail, like Lynx had gained time because I had a bad Ridley fight. So I'm like, oh my god, I just have to go. And so I kind of panicked through escape. And I lost so much time that I almost wonder if it would have been better to take Ridley E-Tank and just not check the restream, because when I saw Lynx was close and my health was bad, I'm like, I have to have a perfect escape, and I can't lose a bunch of time or else I'm behind. So, yeah, it was a pretty panicky LN, I'd say.
Yeah, that was tough. We were sort of popping off in comms because it looked like you were something like 120 or 135 exiting Ridley, which is just really, really scary for that escape. But you handled it beautifully as far as, you survived, you made it through. But it's a good question, right? I mean, do you take that tank and then potentially drop the Meridia tank if your drops are good from Batuan? That's a difficult one. I mean, I respect that you've got Lynx breathing down your neck and you decided to push. You executed, it was really, even entering G4, it was anybody's game, and I think things just worked out a little bit better for Lynx, who was getting hooked up with supers more or less throughout the entire second half of the run. Lynx, you had your own health issues entering Turi, and actually it looked like you had beautiful supers and probably could have skipped the bug farm leaving Meridia, but you went back for another one because you were still under 100 health. What was your thought process walking through your resource management as you were entering G4?
So, well, after Red Ship, I think I played pretty solid overall. I picked at bowling, as I said, and I saw Razon was ahead, and I don't mind playing from that position. Like the pressure is not on me anymore. I just play my game, and it is what it is. I'm not gonna check the stream anymore. So I just went all out. And since I played pretty well, I thought I'm just gonna farm twice these bugs before leaving Meridia. I wasn't aware that Razon was like playing pretty well too. So I just trust that maybe he slipped somewhere and stuff. And yeah, in hindsight, that was maybe a mistake because it's pretty costly to do 2 farms there. But yeah, that was the situation. Although the scary part was after Metroid 4.
Yeah, I mean, your health was, it looks like it was a second hopper hit, right? What happened there? And I don't know, you had to clutch out an incredible fight, and you could not afford to take a bunch of onion rings to the face. And to your credit, you built a lead of about 8 to 10 seconds entering Turian, and you executed brilliantly, and you held on to it, and you took the win. So congratulations. It was really, really nicely done.
Congratulations to both runners. That was really good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, well, Lynx, you're moving on here. It was an excellent win today. It looks like you have Eddie coming up next. This is your opportunity to talk all the trash you want and put Eddie in his place. Go for it.
Yeah, playing against the random main. Thanks. No, it is a good friend of mine. It's gonna be close. He's just really good, even though he's not been playing any percent like at all because he's a random main. So, but I mean, he can like get sick times like it's nothing. So yeah, I mean, it's gonna be fun. Good. He's a good friend, so I'm gonna enjoy that.
Yeah, that's the beautiful thing about the community, that especially the runners all competing in this tournament. We all know each other. We're all in each other's chats and discords, and it's wonderful competitive spirit that we see. So good luck to both of you. We're really, really looking forward to that matchup. And the winner of that will be facing, that's going to be really exciting, the loser of Oats and Goats and Shiny Zenny. So we've got a couple hot matchups coming up. Meanwhile, Razon, that is the second loss of the tournament in this double elimination. You've had a beautiful run. You had some really good qualifying times. You managed to beat some really top-level runners over the course of this tournament. It just sort of didn't work out for you today. If you have any final thoughts, if there's anything you'd like to share, please, this is your time to do so.
Yeah, absolutely. Spike Suit isn't real. It's fake. It's a conspiracy. It never works. No, I'm just kidding. It was a fun race. I'm glad. This was definitely the best race I had in the tournament, both from this perspective of how well I played and my opponent played. Like, I'm just really happy I got one like close high-level race, because the Drewski race, he unfortunately died. The Zos race, I unfortunately died. So I'm just glad I had a good race. It was a fun tournament. This is a good way to go out.
Excellent. Well, I mean, that's awesome. I know, like for myself, I had a very difficult final run, and I was kind of bummed out in the interview at the end, and it's always hard to leave the tournament on a sour note. But I'm glad that you feel good about your final run. I mean, a 42 in a race, especially such a hype race like this. Gosh, I really encourage you to both watch it back, because it was a really, really beautiful PRKD versus PRKD matchup. It was a back and forth affair, and I think it was definitely immediately vaulted to the top of one of the best races that we've had as far as competition over the course of the tournament. So thank you very much both. It was lovely to call this matchup. And just as we push up on the top of the hour, I'll just remind folks, please go ahead and check that schedule. We have no races currently scheduled, but we do have a bunch that I just alluded to that will be coming up, including Scotty Crow and MGA. Lynx will be continuing to race in the future against Eddie. Keep your eyes peeled for that matchup. And I'd like to thank both Diesel on the restream here, as well as Zenny, Sassy, QZ, and everyone helping put on this tournament over at SGL. It's been a lot of fun so far. Thanks to my co-commentator, Metrol, coming over from the Dread community. We had a lot of fun today. And with that, we're at the top of the hour. We got another race coming on the back end of us, so I'm going to sign us off here, folks. Very glad for all the interactions with chat. We had a really good time, and we will see you next mission. Take care.